I'm Aaron Kohler. I am Associate Professor of Near Eastern and Jewish Studies here and chair the Barron Department of Jewish Studies of Yeshiva College. And I'm sitting here with Michael Eisenberg, who is a partner at Aleph, a venture capital firm in Israel. And we're here to talk about Michael's new book on the Book of Esther. Maybe you could just tell us briefly why you look at Esther as an important book for today and sort of quickly distill what you think you argue in this book.
I think the author, sitting in Jerusalem, believes that the Jews of Persia are assimilating for economic opportunity. I chart that through the text of the book, and some of our conceptions that we grew up with since kindergarten about who Mordechai and Esther were, I take issue with. And one should look at no further than their names, which are named in both cases after Babylonian Persian gods, Marduk, Ashtar, Mordechai, Esther, and their roles in the palace courtyard as court Jews, or something to that extent, and the descriptions of Mordechai's past and where his family came from, the elite of society who left Israel prior to the expulsion, to think about why it is that they're there. And in fact, the entire decree to wipe out the Jewish people is exactly 4 days. But the book takes place over 15 years. And one needs to ask, why does this book cover 15 years or so if the whole interest is 4 days and while we were saved? And the answer is because that's actually the sideshow to the book, the 4 days. The real story of the book is the integration, economically, culturally, assimilation of the Jewish people into Persian society.
How would you say that the economics of the empire impact Jewish history?
If there's economic opportunity in Persia or New York, then Jews flock to economic opportunity. If we can create great economic opportunity in Israel, then we can bring Jews to Israel without anti-Semitism. And I think those are noble pursuits. I think we should be pursuing missions beyond economics and making money, but the economy or money does make the world go round. If all the economic opportunity exists in the U.S., we have 58% assimilation rates here. We're going to lose a big percentage of the Jewish people quickly. The Meshech Chochmah, who lived in Dvinsk, describes this, that the more comfortable Jews became in Berlin or elsewhere, the more they disappeared from the Jewish people. And that's true in the United States too.
So maybe you could say something about how this fits in with or contrasts with other books, let's say in the last part of Tanakh.
In the book of Ruth, we see a fascinating thing. The end of the book is focused on Ruth's progeny, her children, the generations of kings and leaders that came after her. Esther has no children. She has no progeny. It comes to an end. Another book we can look at is Nehemiah. He picks up and leaves to heed the cry of his brothers in Israel, to pursue meaning and mission, whereas Esther and Mordechai stayed in the king's court in Persia and did not heed the call to go back to the brothers in Israel. I think, by the way, later in the time of the Chachamim, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi actually gets this, and that's why he institutes the core of the holiday around charity giving. And by the way, the core of the holiday, for anyone paying attention, is not reading the Megillah, it's charity. And that's why you move the Megillah to fit when you can give charity to the poor people, because we want to increase brotherhood, and charity increases brotherhood.
Maybe say something then about how you think, what the Book of Esther says about the future of Jews. I mean, obviously for us this is the past, but from the book's perspective, what does the future hold for Jews in Persia? And then
turns out history doesn't change all that much. And the rates of assimilation of Jewish populations in foreign host countries are high, 50+% in the United States and 70+% in other parts of the world. And there's a price. And we have another option today, and that other option is a state of Israel with a growing economy, and ample economic opportunity, and a global market that didn't exist. But today with the internet, you can live in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem or Haifa or Oranit, and you can service an 8 billion person market around the world. And there should be no impediment to people, risking their assimilation and not coming back.